5240.01. It was implemented by the Biden-Harris administration September 27th, last month, and it authorizes the U.S. Department of Defense on the authority of a representative no higher in rank than a colonel to use deadly force against American citizens. One of the specific categories that is mentioned is dissent or refusal to accept election results. Now, we had an experiment I've been talking about all around this country, and it started 235 years ago when we adopted our Constitution.
Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
What? This is vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered.
You are a loser.
What the
Man, I went to the gun store today, y'all, to grab myself some extra artillery, to treat myself to something nice for these festive times that we living in. And when I tell y'all I was the only black person in there, I was the only black person in there. And I go to this one all the time. This is the main shop and range that I go to. So every time I went in there, I ain't always been the only black person. But this time was different because I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna run in there on my lunch break, grab what I want real quick and just dip out. When I tell you, and it was like 1:30, bro, 2 o'clock at the latest. When I tell you, bro, these white folks was piling in this, you would have thought this was some type of convention, bro. Like, I seen a group of maybe 18, 19 at the oldest year-old white boys in there. Each one of them white boys had 2 rifle bags and getting ready to go to the range. They treating that like it's laser tag, chopping it up, oh yeah, talking about school and all this other shit. Then you got all these other white dudes in there with their wives, bro. They grabbing ammunition, they grabbing silencers, bipods. I'm like, yo, man, this is crazy, bro. And I'm like, this is wild, bro. I had to grab myself some extra ammunition because I'm like, yo, y'all not about to leave me with nothing, bro. Leave me out here high and dry like that. It's like that, bro. I was like, damn, maybe I should buy me something else. It's ridiculous. And I know it's election time, so, these NRA type of start losing their top a little bit and go over the edge. But, bro, this was different because I didn't been to the store and the range around election time before, and it was never like this, bro. Not no 1 o'clock on a weekday. I know it's Friday, but 1 o'clock on a weekday, people bringing their whole families. And I looked on their website, too. It wasn't no type of special event or nothing, bro. These folks was not around, bro. Every white person that walked in there, they was headed straight to the range and had 2, 3 rifle bags with their ass, bro. They was not around. I'm like, man, my people got to hurry up and get in here and load up because I don't know what they doing, but they damn sure ain't playing.
I had to pull over to tell my Native Black American community that number one welfare recipients are immigrants per capita and Native Americans. 90 million whites are on welfare. But why are we sharing the most for being on welfare when we're actually towards the lower end of it? It's because everybody's getting handouts. And I'm talking about the Jews got billions upon billions in reparations. Everybody else is getting social services and all these handouts more so than we are. So my point of saying this is get every single handout you can. We're the only ones told pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You're lazy. You need to work harder. When they're getting all of these services, they're getting mortgage relief funds and hurricane relief funds, and they're getting all this stuff. The difference is that what we need to do is once we get that, build, save your money, and then buy your first property. Invest in stocks, invest in annuities. Get as many as you can to save your money and then invest and build.
Oh, what the fuck do you do? I don't know what the fuck to do. He just left. Did he even clock out? And he's still on the clock. He didn't even clock out. He just did that, bro, for real.
So we heard Judge Joe Brown, right? So in front of you, it says DOD intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities, September 27th of 2024. assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It is also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. All able to hear what Judge Joe Brown had to state, and even without the quote unquote specifics that some people may say, hey, he specifically said this. And when I read this information, it doesn't specifically 100% word for word, bar for bar, state every single thing that he stated. You can look at this and read into it what you will. The fact of the matter is that if the government feels that there's an anticipation of an uprise, upheaval, of situations, of emotions where people feel a type of unrest, then you can apply this directly to that situation and do a 2 + 2 and figure out what's going to equal 4. I don't really care if some people are going to feel that, oh, you're just talking negatively about the black community, and what about all the other groups or the races of individuals who come together and they're dressed a certain type of way? Why is it that we never hear the exact same yada? Because those men of those communities can worry about this situation. I'm coming from the fact of being young, growing up, coming from Detroit, born and raised, and I understood, I had a certain understanding that if you went outside and you dressed a certain type of way, if you went outside and you carried a certain type of energy about yourself, you try to make yourself appear bigger or to look tougher than what you really were, you tried to show up as a collective and intimidate or have this imagery of intimidation, you were going to be treated, followed a certain type of way. This right here is straight foolishness. All these young dudes right here, they wearing a ski mask, got them above their face like they about to go out there and rob somebody. Everybody wearing a hoodie, but yet there is no type of what looks to be cold weather directly out there. And everybody's trying to look intimidating or hard for clearly no reason. Who are you trying to impress? I don't see really anybody else out there other than other guys. So who are you trying to impress? Who are you really trying to threaten? Who are you trying to send this energy directly out to? And the other issue that I have with this is the fact that you always have imagery where young men like this want to seem this type of way where they will be viewed as intimidating. But when it comes time to actually try to intimidate a real threat, none of this is nowhere to be seen. All of these people are ghosts. They're somewhere in their house, they're somewhere in the basement, somewhere in their room playing a PS5 or an Xbox. Again, this makes no sense. It's crazy that you want to have this type of image of being intimidating when it deals with being amongst and around your own. But when it deals with anybody else, you're putting on a whole different face. When it deals with people who can actually cause you harm or your community harm, you don't put on this type of face. It's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy work at the end of the day. Let me say, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse or some other type of thing that pops up, I can safely tell you black people are not going to be the cause of it. We are not going to be the face. We are not going to be the carriers because, again, we don't happen to do things like this. Now, again, outside of the United States, you have cultures that like to do this. Better yet, with inside of the United States, I think somewhere in Wisconsin or whatnot, this is a cultural thing that certain people like to do. Again, this is not something that Black Americans really partake in at all, not unless they were raised in these parts and around people and yada, 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 and all that other type of good stuff. Again, all I'm saying is this. I've seen a variety of videos online, and this is not it. I'm not sure exactly why it is that this woman is doing this. Some people wanted to say that she was homeless or this, that, and the third. I'm looking at a package of meat which I'm going to assume was more than likely brought directly from a store. Some people was trying to say that, oh, she could have got that directly out of the garbage. It doesn't matter where she got it from. It's the fact of the matter that she is eating that. She is not trying to cook it. What I'm saying is that Black people have a certain culture and everybody else has their culture. The craziest thing about this is that a lot of Black people still won't pay attention. A lot of Black people still won't listen to what this Black man literally told you. He was like, hey, I went out and decided just on a whim, it was my lunch break, I wanted to go get some ammunition and yada yada. And when I was there, I saw families of true Americans just chopping it up. They were just there with the kids, with the wife, with the grandfather, and everybody was just buying up this and buying up that and yada. Again, he's letting you know that he was witnessing something that did not make a lot of sense. And he also stated how there was no type of signs to let him know that there was something specifically going on. Let me just break this down for a lot of people. When it deals with the true American side of things, they won't put a lot of stuff out in the open for everybody to see. They'll go directly online. They'll have WhatsApp. They might have a Snapchat, IG, Facebook. They'll have private pages in other areas where people of that area or those groups will send out messages to all these other groups so that their families and their friends will know, hey, we're going to have something set up in this area. Everybody that's in this group basically knows. We'll meet up there and we'll do X, Y, Z and all this other type of stuff, right? It's more so of an inside house type of thing. And that's the thing that a lot of Black people don't understand. They will do inside house type of things, and then they'll do these things also out in public. But again, you won't know what's going on. It'll just seem like whatever. But realistically, something is happening. They know what's happening, and they are going to prepare for whatever is about to happen or whatever it is that they feel is going to happen. And this Black man is just simply trying to get the message out and tell other Black people around the United States that, hey, something may be up. It's just a what if, but just on a precautionary side or measure, you might want to go out there and get you a couple of things just to be prepared, just to be on the safe side. Because if you stay ready, you never have to worry about being ready. So again, but even with me listing this and stating this, even with the Black man clearly telling us from his point of view, a lot of Black people won't get the message. A lot of Black people won't pay attention. A lot of Black people will feel that they are immune to whatnot or whatever because of the types of friends, the society, how eloquently they speak, the wealth, the richness, whatever gated community that they live in or whatever backdoor dealings or connections that they may have. They feel that they are immune from whatever may happen, and a lot of them are going to learn. They may not get you now, but they will get you in the end. This woman is correct, and I've stated this along with many other people directly out here in the space have stated that, hey, everybody else is getting a form of reparations, a form of payment, and nobody screams or says anything about it. But the moment in time that Black people want to get what they feel is deserved because of the historical treatment that has happened to them by way of the United States government and many others, people like, oh, quit crying, quit asking for handouts, quit begging, you guys are just lazy. And then you also have Black people who are a part of the Republican Party who will say the exact same things about Black people wanting reparations. But those same Black people who disagree with Black people getting any deserved reparations, they will never speak on another group of people. They won't speak on the Native Americans. They won't speak on the Jewish population. They won't speak on the Asian population by way of the Chinese and the Japanese. And they won't speak on the many others of which the United States is giving money directly over to at all. Won't say anything about it. But everybody has a voice and opinion when it deals with Black Americans. But aside from that, the main thing that I've tried to tell Black people is this. The moment in time that you get a little bit of extra money, try putting your money where you're going to bring back friends. As Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank would say, I want to invest my money somewhere where my money will bring back friends, where my money is going to be able to divide and divide and multiply again. That's what the Black community should do. And again, I'm just generalizing when I say the Black community, but more so the specific segment of the Black American community who understands what it means to have money and to make it grow, right? So it's too many times when I happen to do these videos, I have people come through and tell me that, oh, not all black people are not a monolith and yada yada and this, that, and the third. And that's cool. I get it. But the most interesting thing is that if I were to give the same knowledge base or whatnot to other folks directly out there, I'm not going to hear the exact same speech. The people that agree with it are going to agree with it, and the people that disagree or don't like it, more than likely, are just going to mind their business. They're not really going to say anything in abundance, and for sure, a lot of them are not going to say, hey, we are not all a monolith and yada, because in a lot of other cultures, no matter if people are a monolith or not, people are going to work together. People are going to band together. Out of all the things that I've specifically stated about other melanated individuals, the one thing that I've stated over the years that I've learned that I admired from another culture was of Haiti, right? I told you guys before how I had a Haitian supervisor, and the thing that I learned about the Haitians there was how they had this basket. And all of them were pretty much, I want to say, the heads or some type of lead in their area when it dealt with the store, or they were at least there for enough time where they were able to make enough money. And what they would do every single month is they would have this basket and they would put thousands of dollars directly in there at one time. And one person was made to hold that basket. So they would do a drawing of sorts, and whoever's name would get pulled that month, that's who would get that money. And the money is just for anything at all. You can decide to go take a vacation. You can buy a car, put a down payment on something. You can spend it however it is that you want. It's the fact of the matter that they can get together. And again, that's just a small grouping, about at least, I want to say about 5, maybe 6 people, right? They would get together and they would do something like that. And I thought that was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen people actually do. And the amount of trust that you would have to have in order to have somebody hold that money as well. I just wish, as I've stated before for years, that this would be something that the Black American community would take on as a type of trait, a positive trait, so that we can all grow, so that families could grow, pass down, or it would make it easier for people to get a car or a house or to help out with college or medical bills or what have you. But like I said, it is what it is. And hopefully those that are out there that pay attention will get the message, and everybody else, I guess, everybody else will just do what works for them and hope for the best. So last but not least, this is just an example of somebody crashing out. Too many people can actually get a job, and when they happen to have a job, they quickly just decide to do something that will jeopardize that job. And this person that was given a position to be trusted to just do their job decided, hey, this job isn't worth it. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to break into the register and I'm going to steal the money, and I'm just going to dip out and I'm going to live happily ever after on some beach in Barbados. I promise you, that person didn't really get away with a lot of money. This is what it looks like when people don't know anything about financial literacy. This is what it looks like when people think that they could just do one thing, make it big, get a quick lick, and pretty much that's it. All to end up in jail or in prison over something so stupid. Again, it made no sense. I'm not sure what this person's mentality is. I can promise you that they're young, very young. And they decided to do something stupid because they hang around stupid people, which also makes them stupid as well. So this is what it looks like. And I promise you again, this person is not going to have a very positive or a long life in general. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.